All right, Eric, and we are live in living color. Everybody, um, welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling. I'm your host, Ray, one half of the Nashville Flippers. My co-host, Dustin, is a little late, but you know what? He'll jump on when he jumps on. But I'm excited to have our guest today on the podcast is Eric, the Vintage Hunter. Eric, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing amazing. Doing amazing. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for coming on. It's an honor to be honest with you, because just by watching your videos on TikTok, because that's where I found you is on
For
TikTok.
sure. For
Is It's like this guy, guys, he knows his stuff,
sure.
and I'm not talking about a lot of people. One of Eric's sayings is, "Are you thrifting or are you thrifting?" Because the stuff that Eric picks up, it's different. It hits
It's
different
different.
on all different levels. But before we get into the questions and all that good stuff, Eric, let's bring in Dustin because he's just jumped on. What's up, Dustin?
What's up?
All right.
Got some Yellowstone
So,
going. Season finale.
oh, are you watching the Yellowstone? See, I got a DVR, so no spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay. It's still on.
No
It's crazy.
spoilers. Do you watch Yellowstone, Eric?
I don't, man. I don't. I don't watch a whole lot of
Have you
TV,
watched that
man.
show
Like,
before?
Never.
Oh,
Never. No.
okay.
What is it about? You're probably like,
Yeah,
how
I
could you
don't
not
either.
know this?
But that's the show that I'm like, what's that?
I got
Can you
no
hear me?
sound.
Oh
I can
no.
hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Okay, perfect.
I,
I must have lagged or something. But
mhm,
yeah. So Eric, for the
mhm.
people in the chat that may not know you, for the people that are listening at home, and you're currently listening to the best reselling podcast that you're currently listening to, This Week in Reselling. Um, tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Eric, I've been a full-time reseller, full-time since 2005. I got in the game in '03. I've owned a physical eBay store where we offer consignment. I've owned an auction company. I've owned a pawn shop. I own a store currently. There's not much in the vintage resale business that I haven't done. To this point, basically. So that's kind of my story, truthfully.
Man, that's awesome. What made you want to get into? You said you own a pawn shop,
Yeah,
a auction.
yeah. I'm an auctioneer too. That's yeah. I'm an auctioneer.
A pawn shop auctioneer, and then do you currently have a consignment sale or a
No,
consignment
so
store?
that's how I got in this business. Is in like '03, '04. eBay had what was called like trading assistants. And you would get like certified to be a trading assistant through eBay, which means that you could sell stuff for other people. You would go to eBay University or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw like all these physical stores opening up like in kind of ritzy like neighborhoods. They were like offering to sell stuff for people on eBay. And I'm like in my cubicle thinking like, man, I could do that for people. And so that's basically what I did. But I didn't I didn't go to the nice neighborhoods. I opened like in the south side of Milwaukee, which is like heavy, Mexican and Latino type population. And that's kind of how I got my start in the resale business.
Okay. Now, did that transition into a pawn shop? Because you said it was a little different
Yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah.
Okay.
So the pawn shop, which is interesting about that, is because if most people don't know, a pawn shop is considered like a financial institution, and
Mm-hmm.
so stuff like a pawn shop, like a payday loan store, like you can't open those in certain areas, or it can't be close to residential. So like it made it where it was hard for us to find a place. So we ended up, kind of on the outskirts of the city of Milwaukee just to do the pawn shop. You know,
Interesting. I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
thought
It's
about that, like the
yeah, you
rules
you
and
you
regulations.
yeah, you'll see like payday loan stores, and it varies by state, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll see like payday loan stores that you might see them on the same block or something like that. But like it'll be weird, like it might be like a weird triangle that nothing can go right there, and then you gotta
Ah,
find a place where there's like 150 feet away from another payday store, but you're not 50 feet by a house. Like it's like weird, little rules like that. So that's
Interesting.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
did you start selling on eBay before you even had your? I mean, I'm sure you did because you had
Yeah.
to figure out how to
Yeah.
do it. Did
I
you start?
started the way I started on eBay, dude, is I was buying parts for a car,
Uh,
and then I sold the parts I sold the old parts on eBay, and then I was like, damn, I think I can make money on this website. Like it just, I'm like a dude from the hood, like I'm telling everybody on the block, like, dude, I think if we could find a million items that we could sell for $1, like we got to be out here. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
just totally
yeah,
just.
yeah.
And so I started selling at that time I was making custom t-shirts. And so I started sticking custom t-shirts on eBay. And I was making like $1,000 a week selling shirts on eBay. And that's kind of that's what hooked me. That's what hooked me.
That's good.
Completely different than what I sell right now. It was the concept. It was like it didn't matter what I was selling, the audience was there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's like you just got to find the piece that people want, and you can make money on the platform.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have something that people want. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say hi to some people in the chat that popped in. We have our big thrift Philly. He says hello, and we have our girl Rachel Strickland, a what would you say, a alumni of the podcast, Dustin.
Okay.
Someone that's
Part of the
been on
club.
before. If you guys want to listen to her interview, it's down in our videos, and you can also listen to it audibly on the podcast. So and I want to get into this a little more later on in the podcast, but just like the tip of the iceberg, Eric, you say
Mm-hmm.
you currently have would you call it what would you call your store right now? A vintage store, or
Um,
what's the term?
it is. So that's kind of what I set out to create is the new version of like a vintage antique store is
Mm-hmm.
kind of what I'm trying to create. It's kind of a boutique too, though, because a lot of the pieces, are one-offs. You're
Yeah,
just not going to find them anymore. But my whole concept is to be the modern version of what people think of when they say antique store. Not the mall that you go into and it's the same shit there every time. Ain't nobody dusting. Like, stinky attitudes. It don't smell good. The music
exactly.
sucks. Like everything that you hate about antique malls and antique stores, like I'm trying to be the opposite to kind of set it forward.
Yeah, because I was telling today, I was explaining to my wife, she was like, "Who you having on the podcast today?" And I was like, "Man, I'm super excited today because I'm having Eric, and he's kind of like, she's like, is he like a reseller?" He's like, "Well, he is, but he owns this like vintage store. It's not like an antique store. It's kind of like a boot, like you were saying, like a boot. Because in Nashville,
It's like a
we
boutique,
have
yeah.
these like boutique furniture places to where it's like,
Mhm.
if you ain't got money,
Yeah.
you should not be stepping in that store.
Yeah.
It's like,
I picked Nashville. I picked Nashville before. I picked yeah. I like Tennessee, bro.
so it's like this chair is like 10 grand, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to Rooms to Go or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
we can't afford this chair, at least not yet. So
Yeah.
Atlanta Picker says they love your content, Eric.
That's
So
what's up.
There we
I
go.
yeah.
appreciate
So
it.
guys, if you are not following Eric on his social media, you need to. All of his links are down linked in the description below. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. What else am
Hey,
I missing? That's pretty
the
much
one
it.
the one I'm not pushing is Patreon. So for $5 a
Patreon.
month, yeah, $5 a month. You holler at me, and I'm gonna give you the exact answers and formula that you need. Cancel that shit in a month. I don't care. Just join and get the information you need. I can't put everything out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody hit me up today, and they were like, and like I said, she paid the $5. She asked me 3 questions, and them 3 questions she could change her shit tomorrow, like today, like. You know what I mean? Like I'm giving the information right there directly to the people
Okay.
to the person that needs it, and that goes for anybody. You know what I mean? But it's not. I put out a lot of I put a lot of content out, but some people don't get the answer. You don't get the answers that you really need sometimes.
Yeah.
So hit me up on Patreon too. Seriously.
There you go. Well, is
Seriously.
that linked in your link tree, Eric?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
yeah,
We got your link
yeah.
tree down there. So hit them
Yeah.
up on Patreon if you ever have any really in the weeds questions.
And it's this business resell. Like again,
Mhm.
it's just so happens that you guys see this piece of what I do, but I'm a businessman.
Oh,
So you know what
you
I mean?
gotta
Like,
be.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
think about the business you've already had. Pawn shop.
Yeah.
You're an auctioneer. You
Yeah.
have a consignment sale and you have this store. I mean, let's say Justin and I want to open a store. It's like, okay, let's hit up our boy Eric. I'll give you $100 for your time.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, tell me what I need to do to be successful like you.
And
Sometimes you
honestly,
got to
Ray,
pay to play.
honestly, right, it's a way for me to work with people outside of the state, the city that I'm in. Like we
Mm,
had before COVID hit, I had an incubator space called Beta MKE, and it was basically a storefront 3 doors down from where my store is. And I would rent that to other people and help them grow their businesses, do pop-ups and shit like that. Like,
that's dope.
but COVID killed all that. So it was like
Yeah,
reinvented. And so it's like, that's why I hopped on Patreon, because I'm like, well, I could reach a bunch of people that need the same kind of help that local people need, So yeah, I mean, anything, dude. Just my line is always open.
that's
Like
awesome.
I'm down to help anybody. I'm down to help anybody that wants to do better and actually takes the shit that they see or hear and do something with it.
Yeah, because man, I've told this on the podcast before. I put out a video on TikTok about how there was this viral video that popped up where this girl was crying because she wasn't enjoying life because she was saying that if you don't have money, you basically like up the creek without a paddle. You're not enjoying life. And I told them it's like, I stitched the video and I said I told anybody if you guys want any reselling help, please email me. I will give you all the answers that you're looking for. Right. Out of probably literally like 50 comments saying help me please, I would comment back, email me. Out of those 50 comments, only 10 people emailed me. All right.
Yeah.
And then I had a questionnaire, like, have you sold on eBay before? Like, are you familiar? Like several questions. Only one person got back to me. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to help people, but it's like sometimes you got to pay to play. The people that are want to actually get help are the ones that are going to want to. They're paying for the information, and that's how.
Oh, no doubt.
It's like you know what I mean. So
there's only so much you can do. Like, there's only so much you can do.
Here we go. We got our boy here. He says Eric is amazing. He's been an amazing mentor and friend over the last year. There you go.
That's what's up.
There you go.
Up. I mean, I met him
Ohio.
too. Yeah, that's collectibles.
Yeah,
I met him.
Yeah. Dude, Bill is awesome. He is awesome.
Yeah.
Which
he's one of the few people that like early on I met, and then he's like he took some of the stuff that I kind of gave him, and he just kind of ran with it. So
that's awesome.
I got
He's the one that put me on. He's the one that put me on to Eric the Vintage Hunter. He was like, you got to check out Eric. You got to check out Eric. I'm like, hey, I'm there. If you're co-signing, Bill, I'm there, baby.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah. So, it's okay, Eric. We've already learned a little bit about you. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of what Eric the Vintage Hunter is. Okay. So we like to play, like I was telling you before, we have the segment on the show, a lot of people's favorite segment on the show called Overrated, Underrated, where we give you 10 different subjects. And in your opinion, you tell us if they're overrated or underrated. But before we get into that, Eric, and I don't know if you've ever sold Funko Pops on eBay before, which some of them could be worth some big time money, but we want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the podcast, which is poppingofftoys.com, which is the leading provider of Funko Pops everywhere, really. They're a local business here in Nashville, and they got everything. They got the Funko sodas that just came out. They got the Funko Pops. Anything that you may need Funko, there's just got these new Funko vinyl golds. With they got some Alcast figures, some TLC figures, some great stuff, great people, and they're collectors too. So they're guaranteed to come mint to your door when they ship these Funko Pops, and you know how hard that is. But as being the sponsor of the podcast, of course, they did give us a code. So if you use the code Nashville Flippers, you'll get 10% off your entire purchase at Poppin' Off Toys. So if you still have that person that is still looking for a special Christmas gift and they like Funko Pops, go to poppingofftoys.com and use the code Nashville Flippers. You'll get 10% off. So Eric, are you ready to play Overrated, Underrated, my friend?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, number one. I think you're up, D man.
All right.
I'll go
got,
first.
Dustin?
I'll go first. Sorry. All right, overrated, underrated, Eric. The Goodwill.
Underrated.
Okay. Okay.
Underrated.
Tell us.
See, this is why. Oh my God, it's gonna be so many people don't like this. Okay, this is the reason I say the Goodwill is underrated. We put out stuff all day, right? Who cares about the prices? That's neither here or there. You're gonna find stuff that's gonna be too high. It's no different than when I go in houses. People want too much for certain things. I can find things that I can buy. The Goodwill puts stuff out all day, every day. You're talking to a person that came from the world who's not. I didn't come in this business as a thrifter. I came in this business as a person that bought estates. So when I learned that I could thrift and find stuff, I don't think people understand that these stores put stuff out all day, every day. Like, who cares you didn't get something at 10? Take your ass back at noon. Take your ass back at 2. Take your ass back at 4. They close at 9. Yes, underrated. Underrated. I can't even speak on the stuff I pull out of Goodwill. It's the biggest, it's the most known thrift store. That's where everybody's gonna take their stuff first. That hit me with number 2.
That's a great point. Hey, let's go.
I come from a different world, man. Like, thrifting is a sport for me. Like, can you make a living from it? Yes. But I go in thrift stores because I'm like, fuck, what they put out. They put stuff out all day. Like, I can't buy estates every day, but I can go to Goodwill every day. Come on, man.
That's good.
What's number 2, bro?
I like it. All right. So what about the people that are saying, like you were saying, the prices?
That's everywhere. Like, that's everywhere. You're not gonna just these stores. They're still a business. They're still a business. Like, they're not there for us to make money. Our job is to find where they're slipping so that we can make money. Like, okay, you can't buy these Nikes for XYZ. Well, go find some Viking glass. Go find a globe. Go find a lamp. Like, the game is to know more than the seller knows. Like, that's the game. That's the whole game. Like,
I like it. Hey, I'm ready to run through this wall right here, Eric.
Dude, that's the whole game.
I like it. Let's say hi to some people. Some people jumped on. I think they're fixing to get some angry or opinionated. But Sonny says, "What's up, dude?" The Flipping Sports guy says, "Yo, what's up, guys? Good to see you guys." And let's see here. How long is the code good for? Hey, it's good for a long time. Been collecting since 2014. Yes, its code is good for a while. Let's see here. They're just talking. I've been back to the same good. Here we go. It says I've gone back to the same Goodwill twice in the day and still got out with loot. Exactly. And then we got they don't catch everything and not everyone wants what exactly.
Dude, when I go into like tunnel vision picking, that's like there's times that I'm just like, I just want to pick today. I will pick from the moment stores open till they close, and I will hit the same stores multiple times a day. Like, they're putting new stuff out all day. Like, if you hit it once, why wouldn't you go back? Like,
so you just make it like a day. It's like I'm gonna hit the store all day.
Are you thrifting or are you thrifting?
I need to be thrifting.
Do you feel what I'm saying now? Like,
I'm feeling what you're saying. Yes, sir. I sure do.
It ain't just for the likes, bro. It ain't just for the likes. Like, some of these people is clowns on this app, bro.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have you on, Eric, because we need to know what you're picking, bro. So you need to put us on game.
What's number 2? Let's go.
Number two. Let's go. Number 2. Go for it.
This one's
Go
great.
for it.
Overrated, underrated. Antonio Brown.
Here's the problem,
before
bro.
the drugs kicked in today.
Here's the problem, man. And this gonna sound super weird. I don't watch much TV or sports. And he's a sports player, right? That's how bad I am, bro. Like, I don't really watch sports, so I can't answer it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry, man. You asked me
That's
something
fine.
about the Bucks. You can ask me something about the Bucks, then we can talk. That's about the only thing I watch now. I'm sorry, man.
That's fine. The basketball team, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, that's the only sport I watch now, man. Yeah, I'm so
Hey,
sorry.
it's because you're out thrifting.
I just don't watch. I've never been a big sports watcher, so I'm sorry, man. You got to give me something else, Dustin.
Okay, we got you something else. We'll
Okay.
go to number 3. We'll move on. Number 3.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's do it.
Selling vintage workwear, overrated or underrated?
I'm gonna have to say that's underrated too. Yeah, I think that's underrated too. And again, my answers may not be like everybody else's because I see things from a very, very different perspective because a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna get that's even clothing is coming right from homes. So it's in really good condition and it's it may have some patches on it. It may have a company tag on it. It just so for me the way I see it, it's underrated just because it is just really cool stuff. Like it literally is people's like history too. I don't know. That's just so I don't know.
So what about like a reseller perspective?
Price wise?
Or just like you go in a thrift store, you're at the Goodwill, the 4th time and you find some, I don't know, you find Bill, like Randy's old work shirt from, back in the day. Is that something that's worth picking up and flipping or what?
Because for me, yes, because I have a direct target audience that I can do that to. If you're talking about trying to stick that on eBay or Etsy, I think you may want to be a little more cautious with that kind of stuff. If your only means to sell it online is online, I think that stuff is good for people who can actually come in and grab it and try it on, see it themselves.
Okay, nice. So let's move on to the next one. Dustin.
Next one, overrated, underrated, cheesecake.
Overrated. Overrated.
Oh, hot answer.
Overrated. Dustin, I don't eat cheesecake, bro.
Love me some cheesecake.
Tell us why.
I got this thing with like I don't really care for foods that have like the texture is moist and like mushy like that. Like I can't do certain food. Like you'll never see me eat like a Twinkie or a Suzy Q or like I just don't do stuff with like or like a jelly filled donut. I don't do anything with like filling in it, truthfully. And cheesecake feels like the same kind of the texture, the consistency of it just doesn't work for me, man.
What about flan? Have you ever had flan?
I would never try flan. Never.
I'm not
Never.
Foodie, trust me.
Never.
Dustin hates flan. What about you're talking to Mexican here, right?
That's okay. My wife is Mexican, bro. I've been
there you go.
Here, so yeah, when you say a flan, I knew exactly what you was talking about. You should have knew this.
You did. So what about have you ever had tres leches cake?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No, I do know what that is. But
ask your wife.
I know what it is. It's just the consistency. I can see it.
Okay.
I would try it.
It's
I always
tasty.
try it.
It depends on where you get it at though.
Yeah.
So your wife got you on it too now, Dustin.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know.
He's married to my sister, so it's that's how.
Ray, you did your homework. I did mine too.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So next one up, overrated, underrated, and I think I already know the answer to this. Estate sales.
Underrated. Yeah. You know, again, you know, like my answers are going to be like everybody else's because I come from such a different background than most people that are like, you know, that you're going to see on like a TikTok or like, there's not many people that are looking at it like an auctioneer or like I come from a world where like if I didn't get into a house, I couldn't find stuff. I couldn't buy stuff. So like estate sales and flea markets and you know, thrift stores, like I think people just don't understand the potential that's in front of them with these type of venues to buy it, you know. So I think a lot of people get frustrated with prices and feeling like they can't find things, but the reality is like you just gotta keep trying. Like
You just gotta like going. You were saying before, you gotta broaden your knowledge.
Or broaden your leave your area. Like people go to the same 3 thrift stores and say I can't find nothing. Okay, well, drive an hour. Like, how, you know, are you in it or are you not? Like, I don't know. In 2005, I said this is my life. This is and you know, I figured out how to make it my life. Like, I think a lot of people just want it too easy. They want it easy. Everybody wants it easy. Like, it's just not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Gotta work.
Gotta work.
I love it. Let's see here. Let's see. Patrick says, I have never found any good deals at estate sales and auctions. In my area, everyone overbids on everything after 1 year on the weekends at those things I gave up. What do you give us your thoughts on that, Eric?
What was
Patrick
the last
lives
part?
in the Nashville area.
Can you read the
he said
last
he gave
part
up after 1 year. Yeah. After 1 year of weekends at those.
Can you read the last part to me again?
I never found
it, but I can see
okay.
After 1 year of weekends, after 1 year, are you serious? You gave up after 1 year, Patrick. Are you serious?
Keep going.
Oh, Patrick.
Patrick, you're in trouble, bro.
I mean, I'm not jumping on him or nothing, but I've been in this since 2003. You gave up after 1 year? My eBay store failed. My pawn shop failed. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You gave up after 1 year. You keep trying.
Like, keep trying, baby.
You keep trying. It's not supposed to be easy. You ain't supposed to leave with something every time. Like, I don't even do that. Like, what is 1 year?
So what? Hey, what about
1 year?
What about for the people that you know? Like what's going to keep you going? You know what I mean? Because maybe after that 1 year, you do get discouraged. You know what I mean? And you're like, man, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing that I can turn this around? You know,
what keeps
like
you
for
going?
The 2 failed business. You know, you said your pawn shop failed. What did you do to turn that around?
What I did to turn around what happened with the pawn shop, I looked at all my costs. I looked at the revenue that was coming in. I looked at the days that we were open. I looked at everything across the board. And then I started to see where I could shave. The first thing I could shave was the fact that my rent was extremely high. So I found a place that my rent was $2,200 for my pawn shop. The place that I went to after my pawn shop was $500 because I knew I had something that would work, but I was paying too much for that piece of the puzzle. So you look at your entire puzzle and you start to pull things out that don't work. You don't and then you just slim it down until it runs very, very slim and trim, just like any other business. And then when you get it to the point where it's like real lean, then you put the foot on the gas. Like, I mean, that's when I went with my pawn shop. That's kind of what I did. It's like we went to a small space. I went to in my head I was like, damn, I just had a pawn shop that was open 6 days a week, and I still didn't get business every day. That philosophy does not work for what it is that I'm trying to do. So when we went to our new place, we were only open 3 days a week. So we were open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that space was not designed for selling like a pawn shop would be, selling and buying. and giving loans, my new space was only designed for buying. So I went with the things that I knew worked, right? Like I knew selling wasn't working at the pawn shop, so I cut that out of my puzzle. I'd be a fool to continue that piece of the puzzle. So we only bought on those 3 days, and then we used the basement to do eBay because eBay is what kept our business, our pawn shop going. So I knew that was a piece that worked. So that's literally what I did.
Yeah, that's good info. To Patrick's defense, like he was saying, he's not a flipper and he doesn't do this full time. So he's just a friend of the channel. But that is good info, because some people do get discouraged and they end up quitting before, but like you were saying, Eric, you got to find the things that are working and you capitalize on it and audit yourself all the time. I say that to people all the time.
Constant. And Patrick, no offense, man, I didn't mean to jump on you, but when you say after 1 year, like literally it takes time to develop your spots that you're going to pick, your honey holes, your connections with people to buy from, what it is to sell, how to use these platforms. All this stuff takes time. It just does. It's not going to happen that fast. And if you're fortunate enough for something in this business to happen within a year, that's a blessing. But don't quit. I would encourage anybody that's thinking about being a reseller or struggling being a reseller, like just audit yourself. Like we said, audit yourself. Shit that's working, stick with that. But shit that ain't, throw it out the window.
I love it. All right, so let's move on. I don't even know where we're at. Number, yeah, 6. Go for it.
Overrated, underrated, The Simpsons cartoons.
Man, I love The Simpsons, man. I love The Simpsons, man. So I'm gonna say overrated.
Overrated. So you like them, but it's like okay.
But they predict the future.
It's just
they predict the future. Come on.
Yeah. They do predict the future, but it's like I don't know. I think it's more of just a time period that I love about The Simpsons more than anything. It's just a time period, and it's just a time period. I think that was a cool time.
The nostalgic, nostalgia, yeah. All right,
but the cartoon.
So let's move on. Yeah, number 7, selling vintage toys, Eric.
Oh man.
And let me, I say vintage, but let's categorize what is Eric the vintage hunter looking at these Goodwills. What am I slipping on a vintage toy that Eric may be finding that Ray may not find?
So I'll be honest with you, dude. I don't buy a lot of toys at thrift stores. I don't. Most of the toys that I get come right from homes. When I do buy toys at thrift stores, the main thing I look for is Hot Wheels, like Redline Hot Wheels, and early Matchbox, because those are the things that I personally collect. If you know my content, like at this point in my life, I buy a lot of stuff that I personally like, not so much what I can flip. Okay. So I wouldn't be the guy that you would really have to look out for at thrift stores for toys unless I seen it like right away. But I don't, like at the Goodwill, I don't go digging through the top of the aisles looking for toys. I don't do that. I'll hit the bags. I'll check those bags real quick. So I think a lot of people definitely underrate toys for sure, just because it's for somebody that's been doing it so long, it is one of the most consistent collectibles that you could ever deal with is toys and advertising. To me, those are things that you can always get money for. So
yeah.
Definitely underrated to me, because I mean,
I know
anywhere
that,
you go, you can.
Some of those Redline cars beat up. That's great. And guys, if you have questions for Eric, make sure you put them in the chat. We're here to answer any questions that you may have that pertain to what we're talking about. So put those in the chat for sure. So let's move on to number 8. Dustin?
8, overrated, underrated, Mustangs, the car. Or you could do the horse if you really want to.
I think they overrated, man. I'm an Oldsmobile guy, so
All right.
I ain't never. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
I got a Dodge van in the driveway, and everything else is bow ties or something like that. But yeah, I don't. They
Uh-huh.
overrated to me, man.
Now,
I've
is
never been a
your
Ford guy.
Dodge van, is that your work van?
No,
Like your
that's the
pickup?
piece that I'm.
No.
No, that's the piece I'm restoring for my shop to have. I bought that I bought an estate, and the lady opens the garage, and that was in there. I'm like, what? She's
Well,
like, yeah, it's
hit
got.
us up when you fix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we
ready to
definitely
go.
want to see that. Yeah, we
yeah.
definitely want to
I
see
don't
that.
show
Let's
it
say
much.
hi.
That's our goal this year.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we're Justin and I want to buy a van for our flipping journeys. Like
Gotta
Eco
have a
Line
van.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I got a
that's
Chevy Express. I love it,
our
man.
next thing we want to buy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Get
our
the
next
passenger one.
big purchase.
Get the passenger one, 'cause
passenger
then
one?
you can just you could take the seats out if you need to. So I keep the one
Uh-huh.
row behind me for my daughter, and then I got the rest of the van full. But if I need to, we just throw all 3 rows in, and you can roll. Everybody can roll.
Just the
Yeah.
whole family. Just
Mhm.
roll them.
Yeah.
Roll them to Goodwill. All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome. We got our boy Crispy Flips just jumped on. Good to see you, Crispy. We have a part-time picker. He says hello. We got Carter P and our girl Marie jumped on. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. We really do appreciate you guys. This makes the live stream so much better when we have people interacting.
Mhm.
So next up, overrated, underrated. This is a good one, and I want to know what you think about this one. Facebook Marketplace, Eric.
As bad as it hurts me to say this, it's underrated.
Okay. Why the hesitation there? What's the internal struggle that you may have?
The internal struggle that I have is probably about I don't use Facebook a lot, because when a lot of the BLM stuff started to jump off, I used my platform to be vocal. I was at marches. I made it clear where I stood, and the backlash that I got as a company on Facebook.
Oh man, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting emails, and people was calling me out my name. It was crazy. So as a platform, I'm not a fan of Facebook. I understand as a businessman, it's a necessary evil. I do know that Facebook Marketplace is an incredible tool for people to sell on. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. So I do know it's underrated, because I don't think enough people use it to its full potential. When I did use Facebook and use Facebook Marketplace heavily for my business, it helped my business. It did.
Okay.
So I know that it's underrated. I know it is.
You know the potential, but you also know about is that toxic ex-girlfriend that is Facebook.
Yeah.
So
no doubt, right? No doubt.
Yeah. So you're smart enough to know, the pros and cons of that for sure.
I'm not the dude that's gonna do stuff just because I can make money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's it's just yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the last one,
Yeah.
Eric. Overrated, underrated, number 10.
Number 10, the Muppets.
I like the Muppets too, man. I think they're underrated.
I love me some Muppets. What's your favorite Muppet?
Animal, man.
Ah, Eric's. I like that. Eric's an animal.
Yeah,
I feel like that suits
that.
you, Eric.
Yeah, he's just low key, but he'll act a fool on you real quick. I like that.
Okay.
A lot.
Nice. I like that. So Eric, that concludes the segment of the show, overrated, underrated. Thank you for answering those questions. I feel like we got a lot out of it. Don't you think, Dustin?
I believe so.
Yeah, we know that. We know that Eric doesn't like the Mustangs. loves the Muppets.
Yeah.
You know, and state sales, baby. States
Hits up the Goodwill. 12
Goodwill.
hours
Hits up
throughout
the
day.
Goodwill.
Door dashes for lunch while he's there, and has a
Yep.
delivery to the Goodwill.
There you go.
That's
and,
So-
and I don't
that's
and I
probably a
don't
good
eat cheesecake.
idea. Don't eat cheesecake. It's
Yeah,
not DoorDash cheesecake, guys.
there you go. So, guys, real quick, again, if you guys are not following Eric, make sure to follow him on all of his socials. His link tree is down in the description below. So give him a follow because, like I said, guys, this guy's full of knowledge. And if you haven't followed us and subscribed to the YouTube channel, do so. The Nashville Flippers. We're and I'm gonna put this out there, guys. I don't like goals out there, but one of our goals that Dustin and I want to meet is by the end of the year, this time next year, we want to have 10,000 subscribers. I know that's a big goal, but you know, we're gonna work hard at it, and we're gonna try to help you guys as much as possible along the way. So, but if you guys
And
want
also
to help,
interview Gary V.
yeah, there you go. That would
What'd
be
he say?
great.
What'd you
He,
say?
Interview
he
Gary
wants to
V.
interview Gary V. So
It's a goal.
I would
We'll get
love
there.
I would love to interview him. Love
Oh.
to interview him about his garage sale tactics.
yeah, right. Yeah, I like
That's
all
how we
those
got started.
memes.
That's how we
Mhm.
got started
Yeah.
because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah,
Yep.
You know what's
We
funny
saw-
to me about I saw Gary V and I was like, this guy's literally talking about what I do. Like that's how I saw him. And I was like, hey, this about a like like this motherfucker talking about what I do. You know, like
right. It's like
but it was-
don't spill the beans.
yeah.
That's funny.
That's great.
So, guys,
good,
if
though.
you want to help support the podcast, one of the things that you guys can do is go over to our merch store, and it's linked down in the description below. We just dropped some new flip merch and some new risk it for the biscuit t-shirts. You know, Eric needs one of these t-shirts because if he's at Goodwill all the time, he's risking it for the biscuit. You know, we got him in long sleeves. That's Dustin's
Yes, sir.
catchphrase, risk it for the biscuit.
I still need one of those, by the way. So
Yeah,
if anybody
so
wants to give me one. That'll work.
there you go. So if you guys want to go and purchase some merch, it's linked down in the description below. And I'm currently working on our new spring shirts, so those would be coming at you pretty shortly. So
Do
Eric,
you have the iPhone 13 cases yet, or is the iPhone 6 still available?
I think we can get some, so that shouldn't
The
be an
picture was
issue.
showing the iPhone
Did
6.
you say the six
Yeah.
too?
That shouldn't be an
it's
issue.
iPhone 6 still on the website.
Like an iPhone 8, we got
Yeah.
the 6.
Still
He's
showing.
bogus, bro. He's
Gotta
bogus.
fix it. We'll get some. We'll
All right, there we go.
store. You know. We'll get
Hilarious.
some. So Eric, we got a new segment on the show. It's called Skip or Flip, where we're going to show you pictures of some listings on eBay. Just pictures, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to give us, you know, if you're there, you're going to tell us, are you skipping this or are you flipping it? All right? And I want
Let's go.
everyone in
Yeah.
the chat tell us what you got, and Dustin as well, okay? So here's the first pick, Eric.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Oh,
Skip or
We
flip?
flipping that. We flipping that.
We're flipping it. I'll show you some other
all day.
pictures and people in the chat.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
what's your
give me
thought
that money.
process here, Eric? What's your
Well,
thought
I know
process?
I know Pyrex and I know Pyrex patterns, so yeah, that's a no-brainer all day.
So what for some people that may not know, Eric, you said Pyrex and Pyrex patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a pattern that is on a lot of Pyrex.
No, I mean, I'm sure they made a lot of them, but that's a harder to find pattern. So
Okay.
that's the key with Pyrex is like understanding different patterns and understanding different colors. That's what kind of makes that whole thing go around. So that's one of the more sought after patterns. So I
Okay.
would grab it. Yeah.
So if you're at a thrift store, you see this color, you're like, okay, I know Pyrex because it says it on the bottom of it. You're picking up, you're flipping it. So, well, I just
All
messed
day.
that up all day.
did.
So this Pyrex bowl just sold on December 29th for $86 at
Jeez.
bids and at auction. So
Jeez.
Eric, I think you did pretty good by picking up that Pyrex bowl.
All day.
So for the people who may not know, Eric, what's some of the things to look for when looking for Pyrex?
Condition is key. It's got to be like keep the colors vivid and not scratch. Once it starts to look faded, that's called dishwasher damage, and nobody wants that stuff. I mean, some people may buy it. Some people may buy it as just like placeholders for their sets. So like we in my house, we collect sets. The same thing we try to do in our shop is we try to complete sets and sell the sets because you get more money that way. But some people may buy dishwasher damage ones for placeholders in their set until they find the one that's in perfect condition. So the main thing with Pyrex is condition. That's the main thing. That's the main thing.
For instance, the one that we just showed that was just sold for $86, that's probably one that's in good condition. One that may have dishwasher damage, what would something like that sell for? What would you sell it for?
Because it's that pattern, you still may get a couple bucks for it, like up to $20 for it, just because it's that pattern. But if it's like just a average everyday color one, like I wouldn't even buy it. Truthfully, I try not to buy dishwasher damage, and I wouldn't suggest anybody else do it if you're buying for resale. If you're buying for you or for use, go ahead and do whatever you want. But if you're buying for resale, if it's faded Pyrex, leave it.
Nice.
Unless it's something super rare. And just look it up. I mean, like there's you can Google Pyrex patterns, and then you'll know what to call it to look it up on eBay.
Okay. Hey, I like that. That's good info right there. PE Picker says facts. So I've never found any Pyrex like that in the wild, but I want to broaden my horizon. I want to broaden my knowledge of dishware. What's the other brand? Anchor Hocking. Right?
Anchor Hocking, yeah. There's Anchor Hocking. There's Hazel Atlas too. They have bowls. There's some French stuff. There's a couple things that but Pyrex is the most popular one. Fire King is another one too to pay attention to. But yeah, Pyrex is going to be the most popular one to find.
Okay, nice. All right, so let's get to the other one here. Eric, are you skipping? Or are you flipping? So for the people that may be listening to this is a kind of like a face.
That's like $200-300, bro. Probably. Yeah, I'm buying that.
So
probably $200 or so, maybe. I'm buying that.
So why is that, Eric? Give us your thought process here.
I know what it is. It's a candy container. It's a vintage Halloween candy container, and it's made of paper mache.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? Like, how old are these old paper mache?
I mean, they can go back to like the 20s or the 30s, but that was probably like 40s or 50s. But yeah, that would have been like, you would have went trick-or-treating and you probably would have had that with you as your candy container. And then you would have filled that up and brought that back home. So that kind of stuff got thrown away, got damaged. Like, it just didn't stand the test of time. Plus it was made out of paper mache. It just wasn't even made to like be here, in 2022.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm buying that all day.
He's buying. Oh, what do you think, Dustin? You buying this or you skipping or you flipping?
Shoot, not knowing, like I'd probably actually skip because I don't know what it is. I wouldn't know what it is. But how do you know that's not someone that made it? That's like a couple years ago.
Show the bottom again. And I'll show you. I mean, like I can just tell like this, the way the bottom is made. Let me see the eyes too. Like it just sometimes there'll be lining in the inside of them. Even when people do paper mache nowadays, like they put like weird glazes on them, so they don't have that matte finish like something like this will.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you did good, Eric, because this one just sold at auction for $549.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be up there. Yeah. Look, hold on. This one right here is mine. The one that's under it is mine.
This one right here?
One. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
That one?
Say Vintage Lounge MKE on it.
I think I might have clicked the wrong one.
If it says Vintage Lounge MKE, that's mine. I can't see it because the screen's so small. It looks like my picture now.
Hold on. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Can you see that better?
Yep. Go down to the one that's under it. How much did that
This one right here?
for?
Vintage Halloween paper mache, jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah,
$51.
Click on it. Yeah. Vintage Lounge MKE. Is that the seller?
You go to the seller, right?
No, it's not. It's sees, she sells.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did just sell when I was in December though. That's crazy. I sold 2 of them.
So, gosh. So all these, man, they're all worth some money.
Oh yeah. Even the small ones.
should be-
That's a small one. It looks like.
I need to be on the lookout.
Yeah. I'm
definitely.
sure the weirder ones sell the better, I would think, right?
Yeah.
And the bigger, of course, the more.
The bigger ones,
Yeah.
yeah. That one that went for 500 was probably like a really big one.
Like a big one. Gotcha.
Keep
All
an eye
right.
out for them.
So Eric, the last one that we got here. Let me remove this just to make sure I got the right thing here. All right. What about these pair of scissors, Eric? What are you doing? You're flipping or you skipping?
I'm probably flipping those.
Okay. What's your
They
thought
look some
process
kinda-
here?
They look like some kind of specialty scissors.
Okay.
And I don't know what they are, but just they just look like some kind of specialty scissors. So I would definitely probably take a closer look at them. But
Now
they would catch my eye, so I would definitely pick them up to see what's going on with them.
So the people that are listening at home, it's a pair of scissors. It's got red handles. It does have, I can't read the number. It says made in the USA and the brand is Cutco.
Yeah. See,
And-
I told you they
and
look different.
And they come apart. I don't know why they come apart, but they do come apart. So like both of the blade, you can like, I guess, split them or whatever. So Eric's flipping them. What are you doing, Dustin?
They do look higher end. I'd probably check them out. I don't know. If I saw them though, I'd probably skip, but not knowing what they are. But I'd look into them.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
probably flip
Okay. All right. So the same pair of scissors just sold for $124.
That's crazy.
Dustin Cutco is an amazing brand.
Okay.
It's an amazing brand. I did a TikTok video, and the thrift store even saw it, and they got at me. They were like, "Why'd you do us like that?" So I bought up like 6 or 7 bags of Cutco flatware for 99 cents a bag, and I got almost $700 for all of that stuff on eBay. Yeah, they were 99 cents a bag. Cutco is yeah.
What's the wood block for the knife?
The wood block alone is $42.
Anything Cutco is money. I think back in the day, like to even be a Cutco representative, you had to buy the knives from them. So they would like get their sale anyways, no matter what. And then you can go out and be a representative and sell the product for them after that. But it's like, I just gave you $1,200 for these knives. You damn right I'm going to go find my auntie, my uncle, everybody I can to try to, But yeah, Cutco's for me, the reason that they were interesting is just because the handle looks different. It doesn't look like, like a set of scissors that you're going to see at school.
Right.
A lot of what I do is I'm skimming rooms and I'm looking for something that catches my eye. It could be the smallest thing, like that handle, that makes me want to look at it twice. Mm-hmm. I'm not the picker that's going to be like digging deep in the Goodwill. Like I save my digging deep for houses. I'm literally, when I'm out, I'm skimming the top of the surfaces and I'm looking for something that catches my eye right away, because I feel like that's the game I'm playing when I'm thrifting. It's like, right, what's the little piece that catches me? There you go, Cutco. Yeah.
So Dustin, these 2 spoons sold for $99.
There you have it. I'm telling you, dude, the next day after that TikTok went viral, I went into the Salvation Army and the lady was like, she's the manager. She's super cool. And she was like, "Why you do me like that?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You didn't have to put that video out there." I'm like, y'all was slipping. So now it's an even more intense game between us, because they know what I do. They see it. They see me put it on there. So I'm like, okay, what's the game today? Where y'all hit the money at? Like,
that's funny. Yeah.
That's fun.
So Eric, would you say that anything Cutco is worth money?
Anything Cutco is worth taking a look at for sure.
Okay.
For
Okay.
absolutely, I would not hesitate in saying that. I do look at everything, right? I am still an auctioneer, so in my head, so everything sells. Everything sells. It's just that what did you pay for it, and what is it going to sell for? So if you paid a quarter for it and it sells for $2, if you're okay with that profit margin, who cares,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's everything sells. So I think you just definitely have to take a look at anything Cutco. Anything Cutco. I would.
That's good. That's good info right there. So yeah, Sonny's over here saying, Eric, I remember the Cutco TikTok, and I've been searching ever since.
See?
Ever since. Crispy said Cutco ends up at the thrift stores quite often. So hey,
Mhm.
that's
looking after
like
Cutco
like
And you
Eric
can see,
says,
all you need is like
Bolo.
one or two pieces. Yeah, all you need is one or two pieces. Like literally, you can find 2 or 3 knives. Okay, so I just bought a bunch of stuff yesterday inside of a home, and I look over in the kitchen, and there's a knife rack on the wall, but there's all different kind of knives in there. I look in there, there's 3 Cutco knives. The rest are like garbage Kmart's or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But you only need 1 or 2, and you got 50 to $100 possibly.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And what'd you pay for the knife? Like 25 cents or
So
like
so
$1 or
here's
so?
here's a crazy thing. Here's a crazy thing. I bought like 8 pieces of furniture out the house. And then as I'm about to leave, the lady's like, "You want to look in the kitchen?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll look." So I find the Pyrex, I find the Cutco knives, I make a pile of stuff. I'm like, "Okay, what do you want for this?" She's like, "Just take it." I'm like, "Bet." Like, so just take it. Because here's the thing though, I was extremely, it's one of those things where I'm also in a business where when you say overrated, underrated, furniture is extremely underrated when it comes to
Mhm.
people buying mid-century. So I specialize in mid-century. So you can call another picker that's going to come in there and they're going to lowball you on the mid-century stuff. And I come in and I'm saying, I'm going to buy these 8 pieces and I'm going to pay you very well on it. So then you feel like, here, just take the rest of this stuff because you gave me
Yeah.
2-3 times more than what I thought I was going to get. So like that's kind of how I move. So yeah, I didn't pay anything for them, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So guys, that finishes up our skip or flip segment of the show.
Skipper.
That's some good bolo items right there.
Mhm,
So if you guys,
mhm.
Cutco for sure, Pyrex, look for the patterns, look for just specific colors, and
Mhm.
just anything weird and old like that
Those trick-or-treat
Halloween
pills.
candy dish. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but Eric, you talk about vintage, you specialize in mid-century modern vintage furniture, right? You were talking
Mhm.
about that. Does that in your store, and I want to talk about your store,
Mhm.
BC Modern. Give us a
Mhm.
little like history of the store. What are kind of like the items that you like to sell in the store, and like
Mhm.
how do you operate it? And like what made you even want to open this store? Like I know we touched a little bit about it before, but I want to know,
All
get
right.
more in
I'm
the
gonna give
weeds
you
about
the
BC Modern.
okay, I'm gonna give you the full rundown. So
Do
BC
it,
Modern
baby.
was the concept that I had after the pawn shop. Because
Okay.
this is another piece, when we look at the pawn shop, when we were closing the pawn shop and liquidating, I started to look around and I'm like, I had all this mid-century modern furniture in there. Like I had almost turned it into a furniture store and it was a pawn shop. So I was like, I think I kind of want to do something that I enjoy more than just buying and selling. And so I was burned out on eBay. I was burned out on auctions. Obviously burned out with the pawn shop. I found that little small space that I mentioned earlier, and I set it up like how my store looks now. Like it was basically like 2 little living rooms in there, and that's where the concept came from. It was like I want to sell only the stuff that I want in a storefront that's only open limited hours. It's only open every weekend. And that's what I did. I did that out of that small store space. And we had eBay running out of the basement. And I did that for about a year and a half. And then I got a bigger space. We got rid of eBay completely and just focused all our traffic on Instagram and just trying to get people in the store every weekend. Um, and then I did that, and we ended up getting a second location. It just kept growing. It just keep growing from there, basically. But I specialize in anything from the 1950s through 1970s. It's always kind of been my style and my aesthetic. So it made sense to open a store that was around the things that I enjoy, basically, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's my baby right there. So you know,
Yeah.
here's the thing though, man. Like I went from a guy that was doing, you know, 2 live auctions a month and 150 to 200 items a week on eBay to not doing any of those things and just focusing on what I enjoy. And I've done better in the last 7 years than I've ever done in business completely. And when I tell people on TikTok or anywhere in general to find the things that you enjoy and try reselling those, you'll get a lot further. It sounds cliche, but I'm living proof. Like I've bought and sold everything, like everything, you know, like on so many different levels that most people probably won't even get to. And that's like not no braggadocious shit. That's just like the truth. So like I would encourage anybody that's a reseller, find you something that you really enjoy and like learn as much as you can about that stuff and build a tribe around that and you'll be good. Like, yeah.
I love it, man.
It's a fun, it's a great journey. I mean, we transitioned to the point now where, you know, we just bought a building for BC Modern. It's still, the concept isn't going to change. We're only open once a month now. We're open 2 days basically a month.
2 days a month.
2 days a month. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy. But
I'm
I'm sure
open every
most of the
last
stuff is
weekend.
like by appointments and
No. The only time you can get in my store is those 2 days a month. Unless you bought something that's too big for me to put outside the door, you can't get into my store. The only way you can see what's for sale is through Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. You can buy things through my website, but I don't put everything on my website. The stuff that's on my website isn't in my store, and the stuff that's in the store isn't on the website. You know, that's the concept is really foreign to a lot of people because it's the exact opposite of what most people think you would do in business, is be like readily available for people. But bro, I had a pawn shop that was open 6 days a week. That shit failed. That's not the concept. That's not the lifestyle that I choose to live at this point. Like you can easily become a slave to reselling. Easily become a slave to reselling. And if you can't find a passion behind it, then you know the passion can't just be money. I'm sorry, it just can't just be money.
You got want to enjoy something that you're doing, and I'm sure you're getting excited by finding a Cutco knife. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, something that you know, like the history behind, you know, like a Pyrex dish and setting it up in this nice, you know, setup that you have in your store. I mean, that's, I don't know, that kind of gets my juices flowing, and I'm not really big on it, you know? So I can't imagine what if, you know, the feeling that you get when you find stuff like that, you know? So, but like some of your clientele, Eric, is it like, I don't know, like real estate agents or like people that are buying stuff for homes, like, you know, that
I get all walks of life, dude. I get all walks of life. Like I'm located in the heart of the city. I'm gonna be I'm the cheapest in the city because I don't have a middleman on anything I buy. So I can beat almost anybody's prices. I get all different kinds of clientele, man. I really do. I work with people who are doing Airbnbs. I work with people who are staging for bars. I work for people who just are setting up for their house. Like our mission statement is literally, we find the vintage to make your house a home. So that's what I do is try to find the vintage stuff that you need, whether it's a lamp, a piece of pottery, a piece of art, a sofa, a coffee table, whatever it is. I'm trying to find that piece that's going to make your house a home. Like I live it too. Like, you know, I'm living it. Like,
stuff, man.
And I got art behind me. Like, this is my house. Like I live it.
Yeah. Like that Zeppelin right there. Like that decor. Oh, like where
That's
did you
crazy.
find something like that?
So crazy story about that is that's from like 1983. That was in the Milwaukee Public Museum. It was in a play, and the guy who got the job to do the demo for the museum, he took that home and he put it in his warehouse. And then I started buying from him from his warehouse. And I would go to this guy's place and I'm like, can I buy that? And he's like, no, can I buy? It took me 5 times. And I'm buying like thousands of dollars of stuff from this guy, and he still wouldn't sell me the damn blimp, man. And he said he finally sold it to me, but he said I could never sell it. So
Well,
I
he knew
kept it,
that
man.
he knew exactly who to sell it to, because you would probably appreciate it a lot
Yeah.
more than.
Over the years, I started collecting Milwaukee stuff, and that's a Milwaukee piece. So that's my hometown. So it ain't going nowhere.
So just real quick, Eric, like you're buying a lot of furniture. So like these green chairs, like what made you want to pick these green chairs?
Well, I buy a lot of stuff too. Like, there's reasons. Okay, they're a match. It's hard to find matching chairs. The vinyl's in perfect condition. It's a really cool color. It's a combination of materials. You got vinyl, you got chrome, you got wood. I buy things based off of multiple reasons because then I can sell them faster. If you're buying it because there's only one reason or one particular buyer in mind,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna sit on stuff literally. Everything that I buy, whether it's online or for my store, has more than one target audience for it.
Okay, man, that's
You
good.
know,
That's good. I
yeah.
like
So
that.
everything that I just told you is reasons I can sell. Like I can find somebody that just likes wood armchairs, and they might like those. I could find somebody who likes green chairs. I could find somebody who likes vinyl chairs. I could find somebody who likes chrome. Like I could find somebody that just needs a matching set of chairs. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are all the reasons why I would buy those.
What about what's going on with this middle? It's like, what is that? That little middle piece in between both of these green chairs.
It's a standing ashtray, so I just set you up a smoking section right there. That's your smoking section right there.
Huh.
So that's probably
That's dope. Yeah.
that's probably from the early 1940s or like late 1940s, 1950s. It's got that kind of, it looks like that the Stratosphere
Yeah.
hotel, I think. Yeah, yeah. I found both of those inside of a garage in Kenosha.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with a bunch of shit on top of them. I saw the green and I was like, "What is that?" And
Mm.
yeah.
Well, you definitely have an eye, Eric. You definitely have an eye. Let's see here. There was a question. Rachel wants to know where is your store, and is it in Milwaukee?
Yes, Milwaukee,
Here we go.
Wisconsin.
Bill actually dropped the address and everything.
That's my
908
man.
South 5th Street, Milwaukee, open the last weekend of the month. But most of you, like you were saying, most of your stuff you can buy it online, or if you see pictures on Instagram, probably
You can't buy
contact.
anything. You can't buy anything from Instagram. The only time you can buy something is if I put it on Instagram and I say it's available on my website, then you can get it. But
Okay.
if I'm like that dresser you see right there, you can't even see that in person until the 29th.
Oh,
Yeah. So I do 28 days of curating and 2 days of selling. That's my motto.
Okay. Gosh, and that's a fancy dresser. Like this clock.
Yeah.
What do you sell this? What's the price tag on this clock?
Probably like 175.
And that's something maybe you found like what, at a estate sale, or just
I bought an entire house and that one was in there. That was actually my clock. I took it off the wall because I just replaced it with a different one.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, that came out of a house that I bought the entire estate.
And then this couch, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool. People are trying to buy that right now. I'm like, nope, can't do it.
Oh, look at all the comments.
Yeah.
What's something like that going for, Eric?
That's a
No.
reproduction, so I'll probably still get like 300, 350 for it, but it is a reproduction.
Okay. So how do you determine, I mean, I mean, of course, because you've been doing this all, most of your life, but repos and, like in a chair like that, like those green chairs, you said the vinyl was in great condition. How do you know it wasn't reupholstered?
Well, I think if it's reupholstered is okay. It's just what we don't want to happen is to represent something as vintage that's not vintage,
Okay.
But yeah, reupholstering is okay. I mean, I get stuff reupholstered all the time, so that's okay. But like to know if you're dealing with a reproduction piece of furniture, you can usually tell by the weight of it. Like that's a really quick telltale sign. Is like if it's too light, it's probably new. because all the like good quality furniture was always heavy, whether it's chairs, tables, or whatever it is. It just was always heavy.
Okay.
So that's one. If that's one easy way to kind of question whether or not you got something vintage is try to pick it up, see what it feels like.
That's that's good info right there. Rachel says that she wants your job, Eric. She says source for 28 days and sell for 2. That's good right there.
I mean, that's just a piece of that puzzle, but
yeah. Crispy says I love MCM furniture. It definitely needs a store for stuff like that. What is MCM furniture?
Mid-century modern.
Mid-century, duh.
Yeah.
I love the way you photograph the furniture in the middle of the street. Yeah, what made you think about that?
So I've always approached my Instagram like different than most people, especially locally. Is I try to I want to put stuff where you probably wouldn't normally see it, so that you focus on the item. Like when you're looking at that picture right now, like this is a long as like, I don't know, 50-foot long driveway that you guys can't even see the other part of it. But before I left that house, I was just like, this is the perfect spot for it. It makes you focus on the piece of furniture versus, and I think it's tough. Like sometimes when I can stage it in my shop, I can put it together, but then you're going to see other stuff around it too. So I love putting stuff in the middle of the street. Like I love doing that. I'll even hold something up in my hand in the middle of the street. I just think it just creates a really cool visual.
I like it, man. But you
got to dodge the cars though.
Oh. I'm gonna definitely have to come to your store next time I'm in,
Yeah,
Wisconsin,
anytime you're in Milwaukee or Wisconson, just hit me up. I mean, I work with people. If you come to town, like I said, collect the bills for he roll through, and I open a shop up for him.
Hey, I probably won't be able to afford anything in there to bring back home, but
here's the thing too.
I might buy a spoon or something. You know what I mean?
I got that's the prime stuff. I still got a warehouse and stuff. So like, I'm a dealer, man. Like if you need stuff and you're in Milwaukee, just hit me up. I got stuff for sale always. What you need, Funko, like whatever you in, I got it probably.
Yeah.
Sports stuff, clothes, I got everything, man.
Yeah, I know that you have that. What is it? That Super Bowl hat that you recently or picked up a while back. Was it like a Green Bay Packers Super Bowl hat?
Yeah. I just got another one too last week. I sold that one on Whatnot. I bought it that same day and sold it on Whatnot that night.
Tell me about Whatnot, Eric. I know that you've been selling on it. I've seen tons more people selling on it. Like, give me your experience. Like, what made you want to?
So I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I've been doing this a long time, and I just said it a couple times. I have never experienced anything that allows you to sell this fast.
Interesting.
And I'll put it like this. Last Wednesday, I came home. I bought some stuff. I didn't even catalog my auction because you can set it up ahead of time where you have like a list of everything that you're going to go through. I did it on the spot. So I would put an item up and I would type in what it is, start the auction, sell it for start it at $1, run it for 1 minute. I sold 29 items in 55 minutes.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So the potential to me is when my first auction I did, I sold like 35 items or something like that. And I was like, okay, I think there's something here. Obviously the traffic isn't strong for what it is that I sell. So I'm almost trying to carve out my own category because they don't have a category for what I do. But I think the potential is huge. Like I'm doing a three day, like back to back next week. I'm running Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because the sheer volume of stuff that you can sell fast is insane. It's insane.
So it's like, is it like you're live and you're holding up? It's like, okay, I have this Cutco knife, starting bid is $1. You just
it's just like how we are. It's just like how we are
Okay.
right now. The only difference is I don't have to be in it. You don't have to be in the camera. So like I have my white background and I got like this little prop box and I put my item on the box and I'm just talking to whoever's in the chat. Okay, this is a vintage Cutco knife. I'm gonna start the auction at $1. You got 1 minute to bid. You can set the time that you want the auction to run for, 30 seconds, 2 minutes. You can set your bidding amount, and then you just let it go. And then here's the thing too, like there's no sniping at the end. It's just like a live auction. If somebody bids in the last 10 seconds, it extends the auction another 10 seconds. So
okay.
it just keeps it going and going and going. What's nice about it though is, and I ain't getting paid for any of this, but I'm just telling y'all, what's nice about it is that it's all integrated. Like the shipping, the invoicing, everything is integrated. So like I've done selling on platforms before, but then you got to track who bought what. Then you got to figure out how to ship it. You got to go to PayPal or ShipStation or whatever. Like everything is done within the app. So that's super nice. And they only taking like 10%. So
dang.
At 10%, I'll try to sell anything on any platform for 10%.
Yeah.
Like, what's the worst could happen? You actually sell it. Like,
yeah. What are some of the items that you're currently selling on Whatnot? Like your past, you said you sold those items and you're making a niche for yourself. What is it that you're selling?
I'm trying to do like a variety of stuff. I'm treating Whatnot very similar to like my live auctions. So you may have pottery. I'm going to have a variety of stuff in my auctions, like comic books, pottery, toys, clothing. What I'm doing this week is I'm going to try 3 specialty auctions to see how those operate. So Friday I'm doing all Legos, and then Saturday I'm doing all toys, video games, and like comics. And then Sunday I'm doing pottery and glassware, just to see how the platform responds to those type of things.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I might have to sign up.
Hands down, if you're selling like cards and Funko Pops and stuff like that, like that's what's driving the traffic on there. I just have never been one to kind of do what everybody else is doing. So
yeah. Hey, clearly, when someone's going left, you're definitely going right, Eric.
Oh hell yeah!
If we've gotten anything out of this, Eric is marches to the beat of his own drum for sure. So Eric, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty, brother, and I appreciate you.
Okay.
I appreciate you being on. So we'll leave with this last question. For if you've given us a lot of advice, through this podcast. For someone that may be starting off reselling, or I don't even like to call it reselling in your case, because yours is like, it's something different. It's a whole different beast. But for someone that may be starting off reselling, and could you give someone advice? And for someone that may be an experienced reseller, maybe like you, that like you're down in your luck or something happens, your business ends up failing. Like, what are some tips that you can give a pro reseller, and what's some tips that you can give a rookie reseller, if you will?
Okay, for the rookie starting off is patience, and you have to learn patience, and you have to figure out a work-life balance that works best for you, not what you see and trying to keep up with other people. You figure out what works for you, what works for your kids, what works, work-life balance, and consistency. And I think everybody says that, but you have to be consistent. So those are the 3 things that I would say to anybody that's just starting out. Focus heavy on those 3 things. You'll be okay. For an experienced seller, and I see this all the time, even locally, you can't be afraid to evolve with the times. You know how many of my local shops and antique dealers, I'm talking like older guys,
old heads,
that are like, and I'd say, you should do something with TikTok, or just you should be on YouTube, or not even, let's even make it simpler. You should have an Instagram account. Like as a seasoned person in this business, I am not afraid to try anything that's new, because I want to be a reseller. I want to be a reseller for life. I got to evolve with the times. If you don't evolve with the times, like, you're just going to be out. Like, you're just going to be out. So that's what I would tell anybody as a season. Like, don't be don't be scared to evolve. You have to.
I love it, man. That's great advice, brother. Someone like you were just saying, Commonwealth Picker just jump on and he was here last week. I got to meet up with him, and he was telling me all about the same thing that you're saying, Eric. You know, he's like, I have to jump on TikTok because that's where the intention is. I gotta evolve. I gotta, you
have to.
You have to. So it's like if someone like Commonwealth Picker can do it and he's killing it, that anybody can do it. And he's got.
Check this. Check this out. I remember hearing, and he's had multiple names: Puffy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs. I remember hearing him in an interview, and he says, "I reinvent myself every 4 years to stay relevant." And think about it: Puffy, Sean Combs, Diddy. Now I think he changed his name to Love. Like that goes along with this. That's any business. Like you have to keep reinventing yourself and staying relevant. Like
that's great. I love that, man. I love it.
So true. It's so true.
I heard too recently we're talking about P. Diddy Love or Puff Daddy, whatever his name is now. He recently repurchased the rights to Sean John. Like
we go, reinvent it again. It's gonna happen again.
And he's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Same thing that's happening with Champion and all these brands that Champion, you could have bought it at Walmart. Now it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild. Rachel's over here saying, I'm over here legit signing up to Whatnot while I listen to y'all. Hey, I think I'm gonna do the same thing.
It takes a while for them. They gotta approve you to be a seller. And so if I could tell anybody that's on here that's gonna sign up to Whatnot, the way that I got approved really fast is because I told them I wasn't gonna sell the stuff that they had on there already. Like I literally was like, I'm like, my thing said, I did my research and I'm like, I'm probably not going to have the stuff that you sell on this app. I sell different stuff and I list the kind of stuff that I sell. I got approved within a week.
That's awesome.
So that's my advice to anybody that's trying to jump on Whatnot. I don't look at you guys as competition. We need more people selling other stuff on there. We need that.
Do you think because you have a following that they approved you a little quicker? I don't know if you gave them your social media handles.
They do ask for that. But I don't, my thing is like, I'm not getting paid for talking about it right now. They haven't approached me. They don't even, if I do a tag on my story or something, they don't even look at it. So I don't think that was the deciding factor. I really think that they are a new enough app that we're content producers and we produce content by reselling stuff too. They need sellers. Like, just don't undercut yourself. It's kind of what I'm, like the thought process of going in there shouldn't be like, well, I got the same stuff that they do, so let me in. No, I got different shit than they do, so let me in. That should be your thought process.
Yeah. Eric's going left. We're going right.
I'm trying to tell y'all, the blueprint is right there.
Let's go. Rachel was saying, should I say something else on that page that I'm on? That wouldn't be a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you sell.
Yes. Once you're in, they're never going to check and see what you sell. You just got to get approved.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. All right. So Eric, hey, there you go. So Eric, thank you so much for coming on, brother. This was a pleasure and a treat, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. For any last words to the people, Eric?
I got nothing, man. I think I said a lot, bro.
I like it. Hey, we definitely have to have you back. I think we need to have you back. Talk more about Whatnot and just where you are. Maybe 3 or 4 months down the road. Get down.
Just let me know
a little more nitty gritty. You know what I mean? So again, guys, if you are not following Eric, you need to do so like yesterday. We're dropping some knowledge. Everything's down in everything is linked in the description below. Of course, if you want in-depth answered questions, sign up for his Patreon. $5 a month. Eric said it himself. Get the questions answered, and you can cancel it if you want. You know what I mean? So sign up for his Patreon for sure for $5 a month. And anything else, Eric?
I got nothing, man. I appreciate you having me out, and I appreciate everybody that even popped into the live. You could be doing something else in this time, so thank you, sister.
There you go. Well, guys. Well, my name is Ray.
My name's Dustin.
I guess I'm Eric.
There you go. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. See you guys. God bless. Peace.
Peace.